potatoes from Mexico.
Bam! Life Lessons with Juvy. I am your host, JuvyThaKid, as always. Unless this is your first time tuning in, then I'm just your host for today. Who the fuck knows? If you want to hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, JuvyThaKid. Kind of fucked that up, but I'll tag it on the screen anyway for you guys. Got a lot of topics today. Apparently, this topic's post kind of went off, so it's actually really dope to see. So, thank you guys. Lil Homie 127. You know, I'm getting real sick and tired of these clowns thinking it's acceptable to put ketchup on macaroni and cheese. Thoughts? I don't know. I grew up doing it from time to time, so I can't really hate on it. I like to throw a little pepper on it sometimes too, but I don't really eat it nowadays. So I don't know. I don't think I have an opinion on it because I don't really eat it anymore. I can't stand it. The only way I'll eat it is if you cook the noodles or whatever, and then I shred real cheese and everything on it. And then I shred real cheese and everything on it, and then put it in the oven and bake it and everything. It's actually really dope like that. Oh, another one. Hello, Homie 127. On a real note, got a potential major change coming my way. Kind of reluctant about it. Any tips or tricks on how you mentally goal set? This all depends on what kind of major change it is. Is it going to be a positive change or is it going to be a negative change? So let's handle the positive first. If it's a positive change, then what you can do is pretty much look at the situation that's coming forth to you, the change that's ahead. Break down, if you can, what you want out of this situation, what you want to achieve in that situation, and think about certain things that are going to change for you, in your life and your financials, if it is, and just kind of set goals to how can I say this? Set goals for those events or for those variables in your situation of how things are going to transition for you. Don't expect a change and a jump overnight, but gradual. Okay, for example, if it's moving into a new house, so if you're freaked out because you're going to be leaving a lot of family or something behind, goal set what you can do to keep in contact with them, to still have phone calls with them maybe on certain days or Skype calls, and then just kind of go from there. All you can really do is kind of you break down the situation, break down the variables, and think of ideas that can help transition you, and think of ideas that you can think of steps that you can take to help the transition and to help achieve the goals that you set. Now, if it's a negative one, the only thing you can do is really look at that situation, understand, try to understand as best you can the situation. What maybe if there's somebody else, so for example, if it's a breakup, look at what the other person did to hurt you or whatever, but also look at what you've done as well, because a lot of us don't do that. We don't think about okay, we didn't listen enough, we didn't do this enough. A lot of us like to think that we've done everything we can, when all we've really done is kind of be a dick about it. You know what I mean? But you got to look at the situation, understand that a lot of things are going to change. You can take responsibility for what you've done, understand why the other person, or come to your own understanding of why that person did it, whatever, and just prepare yourself for that change, and prepare yourself for the change of thoughts and the change of routine and everything. Because when certain things come about to us, the only thing that is going to dictate how we handle that situation is how we've prepared ourselves. It doesn't matter what we think we're going to do or what we like to imagine we're going to do. It's about how you prepare yourself. You got to look at the situation, you got to break it down, look at all the variables, set goals for them, realistic goals, and write down realistic steps that you can take or that you're going to take to achieve these. prepare yourself, because then when that change does come, you're fully prepared. You have all the weapons sharpened, all the tools in the shed are ready to go. You know what I mean? So just try and write everything down if you can. Try and set realistic goals and think about the steps you're going to take to get to those goals. Bax War 1246. Huge shouts to you, brother. Bow. Fucking Ketchup. Hey, man. Why is Ketchup getting such a bad rap in this post? Little Jenny Wren. Ketchup on leftover KD is the bomb. Shouts to you, Little Jenny. Ah, Little Jenny. Oh, well, Little Jenny Wren. I read that because Fox owns the movie rights to the X-Men. Marvel are not introducing any more X-Men into the Marvel Universe, in hopes interest in the films will die down because Marvel doesn't benefit financially from those films. How do you think Hollywood benefits or jeopardizes these long-running comics or characters, and is it to the fans' detriment that these choices are made? Honestly, if you look at like the characters that they've used for the X-Men movies, they've run them into the ground. They have the first ones. Let's talk about like X-Men 2, because those are like arguably probably like the best ones that they've made. They had a chance. Like they had like many chances with certain characters that they brought in to have those like really awesome characters that like people would want to attach to. I guarantee it. And they also have really cool stories and like crazy fucking powers, and they didn't do it. They brought them in for a movie or just like a little bit of the movie, and then just fucking you never heard about these like main characters in the comics in the movies anymore. We always kept getting like fucking Cyclops and Wolverine and everything. It was just the same lineup over and over. You know what I mean? So eventually people got tired of it. Also, the way they started to do the movies, like a lot of the fans like just ended up getting confused by certain like the storylines. Some of them, honestly, the quality was fucking just like the X-Men Origins Wolverine. God damn, that sucked with fucking Baraka Pool. The Wolverine where he was in Japan definitely wasn't the greatest. Age of Apocalypse, that could have been a great movie. I don't think it was though, to be honest. And honestly, I love that I love that comic line, but that movie was fucking meh. It was meh. But honestly, I think it's to the fans' detriment that they didn't use like Nightcrawler more, and they didn't actually like give and I mean like I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but the actor who played him in X-Men 2, if he had gotten to do it more, or even like some standalone Nightcrawler movie, whatever. Excuse me. I think the fans would have really enjoyed those. I think it was to the fans' detriment that they didn't expand on certain characters. They just kind of like stayed with the same people and fucking drove them into the ground. You know what I mean? Like you say X-Men and people are like, oh, who are they going to use? Mystique, Storm, Wolverine, probably Cyclops. Like everyone knows who's going to be in it. They don't even really introduce any new villains. Like, even with the Apocalypse movie, Magneto's still there. They just stick with the same characters. And I think that's why the films, like, eventually, everyone was like, man, I'm sick of these. I think, I don't know. Because it's one of those things that, like, well, Colossus was in Deadpool, but they had, like, the other version, like, in the other X-Men movies, too. So I don't know if he just kind of like already counted. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be cool if we've seen a million fucking Spider-Man movies. I think if we redid a Wolverine movie, because Hugh Jackman's doing the Old Man Logan one, hopefully it's done good. And we get to actually see Wolverine get fucking hacky and slashy, and we get to see the blood and fucking arms falling off. But nah, I think it'll be alright. Well, I don't know, because, like, see, Deadpool 2 is, like, it's campaigning that, like, Cable is going to be in it. Cyclops' brother. I got his little figure right there, actually, on the shelf. And he's technically part of the X-Men universe. So, I think it's going to be, Marvel will look at how, like, the director approaches it. see maybe like the whole story around it, and as long as it's not the same characters, maybe like there will be like room for like leniency, you know what I mean, and they'll be able to bring other characters in, because I think Cable would be dope. Havoc would be pretty cool to see. I think Nightcrawler, if done properly, could be a really cool like story they do. But yeah, I think it's to the, like I said, I think it's to the fans' detriment that they didn't go with more characters and on maybe even a more quality cast and director or whatever that they did. I think it's to the fans' detriment that they didn't keep the movies to the top-notch quality they could, and they kind of like ended up suffering with it because they were like, we'll just stick with the same characters, we'll bring in big-name actresses, it'll be fine. Joshua Jedi, why the world isn't flat? I don't know, man. I wish I could tell you. The only thing I could perhaps think of is if Earth's core is made of magma and everything, it's a known thing that volcanoes are everywhere. Maybe just over time it kept like kind of crusting over and things started to grow out of it. So maybe it was just the way it kind of formed, you know what I mean? It just kept like adding layers as it went around. Air_Tino. How to be a dick to girls without actually being a dick? It's a good question. I don't know. Just don't like say anything like rude to them. You know what I mean? Like don't call them a bitch or anything. But just kind of like be very like coy with them or whatever. You know what I mean? Like aloof. You know? If she types something that's like funny, she's like LOL. You just ha. Just put that ha. You know? Just be very like. You still entertain the conversation a bit, but excuse me, entertain the conversation a bit, but don't give them a lot to go off. You know what I mean? Can't believe I just answered that one. I've been your host, JuvyThaKid. This has been Life Lessons with Juvy. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the videos, share them all around. Means a lot to me. Come on, help me out, peeps. All my quiet kids, freaks, and oh shit. If you want to hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, JuvyThaKid at JuvyThaKid. Excuse me. All my quiet kids, freaks, and weirdos. For the love of everybody, keep being weird.